3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to this week's Patriots Mailbag. I'm Doug Kyde. If you have a question for me, tweet it to me at Doug Kyde using the hashtag MailDoug, and maybe I'll answer it here or in my weekly written mailbag on Nesson.com. Let's get right into it. Big Diamond Al asks, if you absolutely had to guess, who do you think finishes the year with the most overall rushing yards for the Pats? And Al, this is a very good question because there are 4 players very close to the rushing lead on the Patriots right now. Sony Michel, 173 yards. Cam Newton, 149 yards. Rex Burkhead, 128 yards. And Damian Harris, 100 yards. And Damian Harris did miss 3 games. Michel missed 1 game. And Cam Newton also missed 1 game. But I'm going to say Damian Harris. He was the lead back there in Week 4 against the Kansas City Chiefs. And since he picked up 100 yards in just 1 game, I think that it's his job to lose at this point. So, I don't know. It could be really close by the end of the season. Sony Michel still could take the lead or keep the lead. Could wind up being Cam Newton or even Rex Burkhead. But I'm going to go with Damian Harris. I do think that he's the most complete back on the Patriots roster. So he should still maintain those early down or that early down role. Second question here, the Charming Prince asks, with so many drops in the past couple of seasons, is age finally catching up to JE11? Yeah, I think, obviously Julian Edelman is getting up there in age. He's 34 years old. He's taking number 3 reps as far as snaps go in the Patriots offense at wide receiver behind Damiere Byrd and N'Keal Harry. And that's because he's getting older and he's dealing with an injury. He's had those drop issues for the last few seasons now. I would not go as far as to say that Edelman is a liability in the Patriots offense, simply because despite the fact that he is taking number 3 snaps, he is still the team's best wide receiver. So you kind of just have to take those drops with all of the good that he does provide for the Patriots offense. But yeah, I mean, clearly there's a reason why those drops are definitely mounting over the last few years, and hopefully they don't get to the point this season where he does become a liability in the Patriots offense. But personally, I don't think that he or the Patriots are at that point now. Final question here comes from JC Jackson, is a top 3 cornerback, and he asks, what is the ETA on Josh Uche's debut? I really want to see him play. Josh Uche and David Andrews, the Patriots starting center, both have to miss 1 more game before they can come off of the injured reserve list. I think that David Andrews probably will be inserted right back into that starting role as long as his hand is healthy. Uche, it's really anyone's guess because there were times when he was a healthy scratch on the Patriots inactive list while he was healthy and before he suffered the injury that put him on the injured reserve list. He has been kind of on and off the injury report all summer and into the fall, but I do think the Patriots need a player like Josh Uche. At some point, they're going to need to put more linebackers on the field and take some safeties and cornerbacks off, and he's definitely a much faster player than the other linebackers on the Patriots roster, like Juwan Bentley and Brandon Copeland. So I definitely think there's a use for Josh Uche and the Patriots defense, but he has to get healthy and he has to prove that he's acclimated to the point of being a useful enough player to be on the Patriots active game day roster. So personally, I'm very excited to see what he can do. I think that he can rush the passer. I think he's got the speed to move around to be more of a coverage player. I think he can play sideline to sideline better than some of the Patriots linebackers, but clearly there was also a reason why the Patriots were not making him active through the first 4 weeks of the season, or the first 3 weeks of the season, before he hit the injured reserve list.
PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier.